All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you tonight with a retro fight review. First one in quite a while. This time we're going to Strikeforce, Rousey versus Kaufman on August 18th, 2012 in San Diego, California. We're going to the Bantamweight division. Miesha Tate taking on Julie Kedzie. Now Tate was coming off of her title loss to Ronda Rousey. She was the champion and then lost the belt to Rousey. Kedzie was coming off a loss to Alexis Davis. Obviously, both fighters were coming in needing to win, and I'll tell you what, both would end up coming out and fighting like it, and this bout would end up going down in history. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Kedzie, the elder fighter, 31-26, and the more experienced fighter as well, 16-10 to Tate's 12-3 record. Tate 1 inch taller, 5 feet 6 inches. 168 centimeters to Kedzie's 5 feet 5 inches, 166 centimeters. Tate weighed in at 136 pounds, 61.7 kilograms, whereas Kedzie weighed in at championship weight, 135 pounds, 61.2 kilograms. So, first round, the two start trading punches almost immediately. Tate gets rocked early, but recovers. After some more standing exchanges, Tate clinched Kedzie against the cage. Kedzie was able to reverse and land some elbows before separating. Tate shot for a takedown, but Kedzie sprawled and stopped it. Tate shot again, and Kedzie sprawled again. Kedzie separated with the spinning kick, but Tate shot again off of some punches, but was stopped again, and Kedzie decided to clinch her on the fence and landed a few elbows again. Another failed takedown attempt followed from Miesha Tate, so Kedzie made some space and drops Tate with a kick to the body. Really nice kick to the midsection. Kedzie followed her to the ground, got in the guard, and Tate started hunting for submissions before the bell rang. So I had Julie Kedzie up after the first round. Second round, the two started duking it out in the center, both going blow for blow. Kedzie pushed Tate to the cage and landed a kick to the body, prompting Tate to shoot for a takedown, but it was stopped again by Julie Kedzie. So Julie then clinched Tate on the cage and landed knees and elbows. From the clinch, Tate tripped Kedzie to the ground, and Kedzie started working on an omoplata. Tate managed to escape to the back, sinking in the body triangle, but Kedzie was able to roll out of it, and Tate was able to get on to mount, but Kedzie again escaped. Tate worked 2 more chokes before they ended up scrambling to stand up, clinching against the cage. Tate ended up again getting another takedown, and Kedzie tried to fight her off to the bell. So I ended up even 1-1 going into the third. So in the third round, Kedzie chopped Tate down with a low kick to the lead leg. Very nice low kick there. They exchanged some punches. After Tate got back up, Kedzie sprawled and stopped the takedown from Miesha Tate. And then a hard low kick from Kedzie caused Tate to switch stances. As soon as she pretty much switched stances, Kedzie lands a big right high kick to the face of Miesha Tate, dropping her. Kedzie immediately pounced on, started landing ground and pound from the top. Miesha Tate, though, tough as hell, she weathered it and trapped the right arm and hipped out for an armbar. Kedzie started stacking, trying to defend it. Tate just was fighting for that armbar, and Kedzie was just trying to fight it off. Then eventually, Tate was able to roll Kedzie over and get the armbar extended. Had Kedzie on her back. Kedzie tried to fight it off, just fought really hard, but was ended up forcing to tap out to the submission. So your winner would be Miesha Tate via submission due to armbar, 3 minutes, 28 seconds of the third round. Wow, what a comeback in the third round by Miesha Tate. Just got absolutely dropped with a head kick. I remember watching this fight live as it happened, and I thought, oh my gosh, she just got dropped by another high kick like she did against the striking Viking whose name escapes me right now, and lost back in the hook and shoot tournament. I thought it was about to happen to Miesha Tate again, but man, she pulled through, got that armbar. Amazing comeback by Miesha Tate, and some heart from Julie Kedzie as well, who fought that armbar as long as she could. So for things to work on, for Miesha Tate, obviously watching this fight, she needs to work on her stand-up and work on setting up her takedowns with her strikes. You know, she still looks very rudimentary, very much like a wrestler. Throws with a lot of conviction, but there's just not the skill there yet. For Julie Kedzie, you know, she was doing really well in this fight, but to me, I think she lacked a little bit of patience. She rushed in for that finish in the third round, and I think she just did it too fast, was too, you know, had the blinders on, too much looking for the finish, and wasn't worried about, you know, having control as well, and she ended up getting caught in that armbar. Okay, so those are my initial thoughts coming from a mindset of someone who was watching it for the first time. So what did this fight end up meaning for the women's divisions as a whole? Well, honestly, it is still one of the best women's fights ever. It is on a lot of top 10 women's MMA fights. It wasn't on my list that I made last year, but honestly, if I probably went back and looked at that list again, having just watched this fight again for the first time in a while, I would probably end up putting it on my top 10 list. It also showed, you know, just how tough women fighters can be. You know, the women's divisions in the U.S., they were just starting to, you know, get onto the big shows still with Strikeforce, and would soon be in the UFC. And a lot of people had doubts about the ladies, whereas this bout, you know, showed that, you know, the ladies can be tough and they can put on some good, entertaining fights. So this fight did a lot for the women's divisions as a whole. Now, what ended up happening to the two fighters? Well, for Julie Kedzie, her next two fights would be in the UFC, where she would go 0-2 there before retiring as a pro fighter. She then went on to become the color commentator for Invicta FC, and also served as a matchmaker for them for a while as well. She is still the color commentator for Invicta FC, and arguably, you could say that, yes, she was a pioneer for the women's divisions in the U.S., but I think her bigger legacy is going to end up being, you know, the work that she does for Invicta FC and helping to grow the women's divisions on a grander scale from behind the scenes and from behind the microphone. For Miesha Tate, you know, she ended up going to the UFC as well, ended up hosting Tough Season 18, I think it was, with the women bantamweights, the first women's season of The Ultimate Fighter. Ended up losing the title bout rematch with Ronda Rousey in the UFC. Ended up beating Holly Holm to win the title, and then unfortunately she lost her next two bouts, ended up retiring from the sport after that. She still works in the sport though. She managed for a short time, managed some fighters, before moving on to a vice president's job at One Championship, working with talent management, where I believe she is still doing that. So, you know, she was a champion, lost it, ended up getting the gold again, and she's still in the sport. So those are my thoughts on this fight. Thanks you for watching this retro fight review. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Now, this fight is easily available on UFC Fight Pass, probably somewhere on YouTube as well. Go check it out if you've never seen it before, and if you have seen it before, go check it out again. You know, it's good to watch these old fights sometimes. Like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like the video, please give it a like. While you're at it, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to WMMA Scene Now, the most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform is on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.